I definitely recommend that anyone who's aspiring to become an actor, who needs a show reel, who needs a powerful tool, that this is something that they need.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this new video series twice a week. My name's Loren.
And I'm Raymond.
And in this new series, we're going to sit down and have a chat with some actors who we've worked with recently because we've been producing some high quality video branded acting showreels. We wanted to sit down, show you what we do, and deep dive into those scenes. Have a chat with the actors about their experience and what they've learned along that journey. It's going to be a great series. We'll be doing it twice a week. We are very, very excited to kick off our first episode with Sumo as we explore a scene that we shot for him recently titled They. Now, before we jump into our interview with Sumo, we would love to show you the scene. So, here we go. Sumo, welcome. It's an absolute pleasure to have you featured in our very first episode. How are you, man? What's been happening in life for you lately? How's your acting coming along?
It's been really good. Thanks for having me. I was part of this project and definitely had a lot of fun, and it was a great experience. I've been applying for a lot of auditions lately and it's been good because I'm kind of new to this stuff anyway. So getting quite a good few auditions and some cool projects along the way since we were filming this.
Wonderful, man. What's some of the projects that you've been a part of? Can you share one of them with us?
So there's been quite a few student films that I've done, and there was a couple of things I did for Fringe as well. That was pretty fun. I've done some commercial things as well, which actually pays, so that's cool.
Yeah, nice, man. It sounds like you've been doing a heck of a lot since you started. How long since you started acting with me at Acting Classes in Perth? When was that roughly?
I believe that was in October last year, so 2021, around that time.
Wow, so you have really committed and fast-tracked in getting not just auditions, but work. That's outstanding, man. Well done.
Yeah, I'm really just throwing myself in the deep end and trying to make the most of this while I can.
Yeah, wonderful, man. Have you got any advice for any other actors out there who are just starting and they want to go to auditions, but maybe they're a bit nervous about that space, maybe it's so new to them? You know, you've been crushing it lately. Have you got any advice or words for them?
Well, I think the first important thing was, for me, doing your courses definitely gave me that confidence. Doing auditions, my first couple of auditions were pretty embarrassing, I'd say. But I think the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. So that's probably the only way to really get comfortable. You can there's probably mental techniques that you can tell yourself to try to get ready for the day of the auditions, but everyone's different. So you just got to find what works for you. But the main thing is having some sort of structured training, which is your coaching, your seminars, but also just committing and just trying auditions. I think that's the best way to actually get confident.
Having this marketing tool, this branded showreel that you have at your fingertips, in terms of your vision or in terms of how you see yourself moving forward, in what way would you feel that this showreel of yours will bring you further, furthering your horizons, so to say, in your acting career?
Well, definitely this showreel is going to empower me. I think it's going to add so much more. That marketing tool is really going to give me that extra edge I need to get even more auditions, but also to give confidence to the casters.
And I would say an extension to that, this reel itself is really your brand. It's how others will see you, how others will see you on screen. It's an incredible asset to have, in the sense that with this reel, it will definitely get you to the next level or even more beyond, because we have no doubt that this is something that you would utilize to its maximum effect, because we know and we are reassured that you use this and you see this reel as an asset and also a powerful branding tool in which you can actually provide to any, like you said, any casting directors. It will give you that edge.
And yet you had only been acting for less than 5 months. So we were thinking, wow, what is he now going to do with his career, with this tool, and moving forward, when he actually has more knowledge and experience and expertise in that area? Because he's already showing so much ability without any acting experience. So you're going places, man. So well done.
Thank you, guys. And you guys have definitely helped me to get there a lot quicker and more efficiently as well, because the only formal training I've had is with you guys. And yeah, I do ask a lot of questions. I'm quite inquisitive, curious, and because this is also new to me, acting, so I try to break it down as much as I can and be as prepared as much as I can before a shoot or an audition. I think that just helps me to be more comfortable in that space, to be as prepared as I can be.
Yeah, wonderful, man. Wonderful. Let's dive straight into exploring the they scene. Let's have a bit of a chat about the kind of pre-production. Let's talk, about the building of the character, because it's a scene without dialogue, and how you managed to build a character with that, and the collaboration we all kind of threw in the pre-production of building character. And then we'll evolve it into diving further, the shooting process. You, me, Ray, Andrew, Hill, and Orlando.
Yeah.
Orlando, the legend that is Orlando, being all locked in a hotel bathroom for 4 hours together. That was an experience, and we'll talk about that as well. Let's start with the scene itself. When you saw that scene, having shot it in that really tight little bathroom space over about 4 hours with us, and because of the structure of the scene we shot it very much in little parts, a little bit over here, a little bit here, then we're going to come around here, because there wasn't much space and there was a lot of different lens changes that were required for that space. When you then finally saw it back on the final product that was delivered to you, what was that experience like?
Wow, it was completely different. Like when you're there shooting, as you said, you're in the small bathroom, you see everything. So in your head, you're just in a bathroom, right? You don't think that it could be something else at the time. But then when you finished the scene editing and I watched it, I didn't even think of the bathroom in the hotel room at all. And it didn't feel cramped in that video. So the way that it was shot with the angles, that was a very good technique that you guys employed, and it just made it seem so much more real.
Yeah, it's interesting, yeah, because I feel that had we gone a wide lens and seen the bathroom, it would have made it less claustrophobic because we would see more by kind of packing you into a very tight frame and then getting you to move even closer to the camera when we have pushed in under the door and heard something on the outside. It's that classic kind of thriller genre of us innately as an audience wanting to move away, yet all of a sudden you're moving closer and it builds that tension even more. What was it like acting on set in that confined space, you know, building a scene out, not knowing really what we were shooting from your perspective, I feel, because I would give you bits of direction around, oh, this is the part that we're going to shoot, like 4 seconds of looking at a door or 3 seconds of picking up a knife. But it's not like a traditional scene that goes from start to finish with dialogue, right? So what was it like for you in the moment in that bathroom, trying to piece together what these two crazy guys have a vision of and how it's all going to come together?
Yeah, it was interesting because I'd be getting direction for you, which is very helpful in those little 4 seconds or couple of seconds blocks. And in my head, I'm like, all right, I just got to stay in character and complete that task. But yeah, I think the main thing for me was just trying to stay in character, and with every direction that you gave me, just perform that movement, that act. You guys were definitely very professional, and I just had a lot of faith and trust in what you guys were doing. For me, it wasn't an ego thing, but really I felt supported. I really felt supported. I really felt like everyone there is trying to make the best of this project with me in it. So I felt like that gave me a lot more confidence. I was a lot more calm, so I was able to perform better. So I really felt like everyone involved was supporting me, and it was very professional.
And I also want to throw that back to you, though, in terms of your professionalism, because the they scene that we shot, that was the first of the day out of 3 scenes. But then the last scene, which we're going to do we'll cover in another episode in the near future, a Japanese horror style scene. When we wrapped that scene and when we wrapped the whole day, and it was the end of the film day, and everyone went home, everyone had gone, a lot of people had gone home. I think it was you, me, and Ray at the very end left at like 2 a.m. in the morning, and you finished up and left. And Ray and I just had a moment where we just kind of sat down on the couch that was at the Airbnb we were shooting in. And we just looked at each other and there was no words. And it wasn't because of exhaustion. It was like, this guy, you, Sumo, absolutely delivered 150% on professionalism, on ability. And you were so grounded. It was an absolute pleasure to work with you. Like, so genuinely, it was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, guys. And, you know, you guys, although you guys are experienced in this field, you guys were also there the entire time and longer, because I left before you guys. But also because you guys were giving me a lot of energy. You were feeding a lot of energy. And that takes away a lot from someone. So for you guys to keep feeding me that energy, that's, I think, even more impressive.
I think also, if we're jumping back to something you said just before, you said that having the reel and also the experience of the process of making the reel was incredibly empowering for you. And I think that's actually quite a profound statement, because a lot of actors have an idea of what they are able to deliver, but yet they've never done anything. They're beginner actors. So, you know, a lot of the clients that we've worked with recently in producing them a very high quality branded acting show reel has been taking these actors who are highly competent, yet they have no experience, and they have no way of really showing the casting space and or the directors what they can do. But yet now with this reel, they have something to showcase their ability and their talent from what looks like it's cut out of the end scene of a movie or from a movie or a TV series. So I imagine that's also quite empowering to you. But then the experience of being on set, you know, having that first opportunity to come into a set, a safe place, you know, Ray and me, and you trusted in us in the space, and you allowed for us to guide you through the process of creating something excellent. I imagine that that's also quite empowering, because then by the time you get to a set, you're starting to know more about what that lingo is and how it all kind of comes together. So it solves a bit of a catch-22 in a way, but it also, through that process, as you say, is empowering. And I honestly never thought of it being an empowering thing. You've just brought that to light, and that's wonderful. So thank you.
No, it definitely is empowering, having that experience on set as well as having that final product, the show reel. Because I think when you're on set, for me, it can be very overwhelming. There's a lot of things going on. You're the center of the attention, and there's a lot of things you also have to take in as you're getting into character, but also at the same time, there's a lot of things that you have to block out to stay into character and focus on that scene. So doing that definitely gives me a lot of confidence, and it has empowered me, such that next time if I'm ever on set again, it won't be as overwhelming, and I'll have a better strategy to take. I do remember back to that day we had that pre-production planning meeting, and some of the questions that I did ask. I think before that, I was looking at other show reels, and they're very different to what we've created. So it's very unique, this style of show reel that you guys have come up with. But before that, I was looking at your standard show reels where someone's doing a monologue, or there's a lot of reading, and not too much storytelling, I guess. It's just someone having like a speech or monologue, right? That's kind of what I thought show reels had to be. So when I had this pre-production planning meeting with you guys, I was asking a lot of questions like, how is this going to be different? How is it going to work? Is it even possible? I think you guys were quite ambitious in what you were trying to achieve. And I was trying to get on that same page with you guys and try to figure out exactly and almost see what that end result is going to be. So I had a lot of questions to try and to come to that same page with you guys.
That's a really, really good point, Sumo. So when you first started kind of connecting with us about getting a show reel, what did you think you were going to get versus like what you actually got in the end?
Yeah, because a whole bunch of other show reels that I've seen before were mostly like monologues. I thought that would be something I was going to get from you guys, which is why I was a little bit confused almost, because I was like, we're putting in a lot of thought into how we're going to plan this particular scene, and it seems like a full movie work plan. And I was like, aren't we supposed to just have like me speaking in front of the camera for like a minute or something like that? So I had a lot of questions of like, are we shooting a full movie here, and how is this going to be condensed in a format that could be delivered as a show reel? And you guys were confident throughout the entire process, like, yeah, don't worry, it's going to work. But for me to be confident, I was asking a lot of questions to feel like, what exactly is going to happen? Are they just going to see this and that? But I was like, at the end of it, I was like, I think I had gotten enough information from you guys. So I'm like, I think it's going to work. I really do think it's going to work now. Let's do it. And yeah, obviously when I saw the finished product, I was like, yeah, this is amazing. I was like, yeah, this is great. Like, this is going to be the new standard of show reels.
Yeah, thank you. And I agree. You are absolutely right. This is the new standard for a showreel. It's a branded showreel that sets actors apart from their competition. The old school showreels, as far as myself and Ray are concerned and the industry, they're dead. Like if you're just doing a monologue up against a wall, in this era when you have an abundance of potential high quality that can be produced, you're just not going to stand out being up against a wall. You set a new standard for what we want to produce and what we want to help a client achieve. And we kind of reference that a lot in moving, into the future past your projects and working with you. We recently also shot and released a showreel series with Catherine Jane, and that was another example of standard that we were kind of like referencing back to. This is on par with Sumo, and then we had one with Tarek, and it was like, okay, this is on par with Sumo, and then all of a sudden, every client we started to work with, it's like, okay, we're on Sumo Standard here, and that has been the standard that we've kind of held ourselves to. And thank you for helping us realize that you can do it. And when I say you, I mean the actors, right? We knew what we could do, but you really opened our eyes to something greater, and we're forever thankful for that. And trust me, so is every other client we've had since you, because they don't realize it, but by you setting a standard with us, they have benefited so much more than they realize.
I'm glad, and I'm extremely flattered that you've made me the benchmark for the standard.
It's called Sumo Standard.
The Sumo Standard, I like that. It's going to be the new brand.
Sumo, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for sitting down and talking to us about your they scene. We will have you back for another episode. We're going to explore your other two scenes. Until then, stay safe, and like always, man, happy acting.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you then.